The first week back at the Saskatchewan legislature has wrapped up, and in a world where time seems to move at the strangest pace, it did start with the budget being presented on Monday. CBC political reporter Adam Hunter joins me now. Adam, it feels like Budget Day was such a long time ago because so much has happened this week.
Yeah, Sam, they're really packing a lot of stuff into a short span of time. To remind people, we only have 3 weeks and only 2 more weeks left of this abbreviated sitting. So the government has a lot of business to take care of. That, of course, started with the budget on Monday, as you mentioned, a $2.4 billion deficit, the largest number for a projected deficit really in Saskatchewan history. It's something the government's calling a pandemic deficit. They're saying the projections for taxation revenue, for non-renewable resource revenue will be way down, levels we haven't seen in some time. So that's where we started the week. And as we got through each day, there seemed to be, 2 or 3 major news stories coming out of there. Of course, we still have COVID-19 that we're dealing with. We're getting those daily updates from the chief medical health officer and the government. Just yesterday, hearing about some of the guidelines for schools when they go back in the fall, a lot of reaction to that. We also had the Co-op and Unifor come to a tentative deal. We started this week with Unifor members being at the legislature from morning to night, honking horns, walking, rallying there. They were quiet yesterday. There was no rally there as a tentative deal was reached, but a lot of fireworks inside the House as well. As on Wednesday, Ryan Miley made an obscene gesture towards government members at the very end of proceedings inside the chamber. He was apologized yesterday for that gesture, and that's only day 3, Sam. So this is kind of a scene of where we're going to be going over the next few months as we get into a fall election campaign. But tons of announcements by the government this week. We had money that they've announced for projects and money that they're putting towards things that we didn't know they were putting money towards, like a remand center in Saskatoon. While people are saying, including the NDP, where's the money for Aid Saskatoon, who needed $1.3 million to run their safe injection site for 365 days. So lots of announcements by the government packed into the usual back and forth in question period.
And then this time, 2 weeks from now, the sitting is done. So what is going to be crammed into the next 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think people should expect what we saw this week. So more bills introduced by the government, things they want to get into the House before they break for the summer and before really they go to the campaign trail in the fall. We'll see a brand new crop of MLAs in the fall after the election. So this is their last chance to get those things done. It's also the last chance for the NDP to really make an impression on voters and tell them where their heads are at. We got a bit of a glimpse of that this week when the NDP said that one of the things they think the government's going to do to balance the budget eventually is tax hikes and selling off the crowns. We've heard this sort of argument before, the NDP even mentioning in the same question period the names of Brad Wall, Stephen Harper, Grant Devine, and Elwyn Hermanson. Jim Ryder, the Minister of Health, called it an early throwback Thursday when that was mentioned on a Wednesday by the Leader of the Opposition. So we're getting some of that picture painted as to where the parties are going to stand. The arguments are going to be made as we get into the election. That's still far ways away. But as I said, in the next couple of weeks, we'll see more bills being introduced and more announcements for where money is being committed by the government because they have so much to cram into these 14 days.
And to be clear, Adam, for people who don't maybe realize this is the last time they're going to be in the legislature before that fall election.
Yes, barring some sort of emergency recalling, they could come back for one day or a couple hours here or there, as has happened in other provinces. But most likely, we won't see MLAs inside the legislature, inside the assembly, doing government business until after we go to the polls in October.
Thanks so much for this, Adam.
You're welcome.
Adam Hunter covers politics for CBC Saskatchewan. He joined us in Regina tonight.